July 5. Court is in session outside and raiders being tried by our own men.
For this purpose, he organized a court-martial composed of 13 sergeants, chosen from the latest arrivals of prisoners, that they might have no prejudice against the raiders. I believe that a man named Dick McCullough, belonging to the 3rd Missouri Cavalry, was the president of the court. The trial was carefully conducted with all the formality of a legal procedure that the court and those managing the matter could remember as applicable to the crimes with which the accused were charged.
Who's speaking first?
I am, Your Honor. Sergeant Horace Trimble, 9th Indiana Volunteers, appearing for the prosecution. And may I present to this court the Honorable Jared Hopkins, Esquire. 102nd New York Volunteers, appearing for the defense. It is my job to prove to these men who arrived here but yesterday that the men here on trial behaved like savages. Barbarians, and worse in this camp. While the rest of you are soldiers in the Federal Army who conducted and will conduct yourselves accordingly. I trust there will be no more such outbursts. Mr. Hopkins, I beg your pardon. Please say what you have to say, sir.
The defense was managed by one of their crowd, the foul-tongued Toombs shyster Pete Bradley, of whom I have before spoken.
What could you have to say?
I do not envy you men at all. Yesterday, you arrived in hell. I do not speak lightly. Andersonville is not just a place without food to eat, or water to drink, or a place to come in out of the rain from. It is not just a place where guards murder us for their sport.
Hang 'em! Kill 'em all!
It is a place without civilization. It is a place without law.
Start this farce now! Let's have some order
And you
here!
will hear how men, good Union men,
Traitor! Devils and traitors!
driven mad. Now I will not be silenced. These men were driven by these circumstances, not of their own making, not of their own making to commit, understandably,
Liar! No!
to commit acts of desperation they never would otherwise have committed.
We stood it! This is hogwash! Hang the bastards! Wasting time!
I will be heard! That is the second reason I do not envy you men. You are being asked to sit in judgment on soldiers in your own federal army.
We shall
must be understood as being caused by the rebels. The rebels are the ones ought to be on trial before you, not the men of your own army.
All your witnesses.
Such was the fear of the vengeance of the raiders and their friends that many who had been badly abused dared not testify against them, dreading midnight assassination if they did. Others would not go before the court except at night. But for all this, there was no lack of evidence. There were thousands who had been robbed and maltreated, or who had seen these outrages committed on others, and the boldness of the leaders and their bite of power rendered their identification a matter of no difficulty whatever.
We charge these men here with being thieves who stole from their fellows food, clothing, possessions of every kind.
And more.
Always brutally and without mercy, frequently under cover of night. You will have all the witnesses to that you want. Is there anyone here who can say they did more? Who saw one of these? I exempt the 6 ringleaders. Who saw one of these commit or order another to commit murder?
Stealing booze just as bad as killing them.
If so, and he will swear to it, let him now come forward. Is there anyone here who saw one of these 6 commit murder?
Yes!
Or order another to commit murder of another federal soldier? To steal his goods? Or for any other reason? If so, and he will swear to it, let him come forward now.
I swear.
I swear.
I swear. I'll swear. I'll swear, my God. Let me swear. I swear. I'll swear. I'll swear. I'll swear. Come on. I'll swear. All right.
I swear. Tell the jury what you've seen with your own eyes, Corporal.
Yes, sir. I am. Before I do, sir, may I ask Sergeant Hopkins a question?
Certainly.
Sergeant Hopkins, did I understand you to say that no law applies in here?
You did indeed, Corporal. And that is the very point. There is no law here. There is starvation, roasting heat, freezing cold. There is disease, acts of barbarism and cruelty on all sides. But what law? Rebel law! We do not obey rebel law! The fact is, there is no law here for my clients to have broken.
You shyster. There is law.
Therefore, they cannot be guilty.
wise beyond your years.
Josie, what are you doing?
But that cannot be, sir. We live by laws.
The law of survival, Corporal.
We do not stop belonging to the federal army because we're here.
That's right!
We have our sergeants. We maintain order and discipline as best we can. We stand in line to get what little food they give us. We do not steal from each other. We do not betray each other to the rebels.
I am saying that men can be excused if they do extreme things, necessary things, in order to stay alive in a place like this.
What they did, they knew to be wrong. Every man knows to be wrong. They are against every man's law and understanding. None of the rest of us did those things.
They did them to live, Corporal, to live.
All men want to live, Sergeant. But there are some things men won't do just to live.
What things? That's what we must hear here. What has been done here?
Murder was done here.
Tell them about Dick Potter.
Dick Potter, but... Dick Potter and his father were the best fishermen in New Bedford, Massachusetts. He joined up the first summer of the war because he wanted to. Because he thought he ought to. He was a good soldier. And he was shot in both legs and captured at Antietam and brought here.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can sit. What's your rank, soldier?
Private.
All right, Private, you tell us what you saw.
I've seen each of these 6 men. They've murdered. They've robbed.
Tell them what happened, Corporal.
Sergeant, it was the first day that the 184th
Do you
came
swear
into
to tell the
camp.
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
You can sit. You tell us what you saw, young man.
Sir, I saw that man. That man
That's the one that killed my brother Richard. And that little sailor down there cost me my leg the first week I was in there. And the fella in the green has killed a lot of men. A lot of men in here. They're all murderers. Every one of them. Every one of them.
We've heard enough. Those are guilty of thievery and low, cowardly assault on their fellows. Give them the ball and chain, or make them run the gauntlet. Every man who wishes gets a shot at them with his fists, sticks, anything you can get your hands on. These 6, hang them.
The trial lasted several days and concluded with sentencing quite a large number to run the gauntlet, a smaller number to wear balls and chains, and the following 6 to be hanged: John Sarsfield, 144th New York; William Collins, alias Mosby, Company D, 88th Pennsylvania; Charles Curtis, Company A, 5th Rhode Island Artillery; Patrick Delaney, Company E, 83rd Pennsylvania; A. Muir, United States Navy; Terrence Sullivan, 72nd New York. These names and regiments are little out of consequence, however, as I believe all the rascals were professional bounty jumpers and did not belong to any regiment longer than they could find an opportunity to desert and join another. Those sentenced to ball and chain were brought in immediately and had the irons fitted to them that had been worn by some of our men as a punishment for trying to escape.
July 7. The court was gotten up by our own men and from our own men, judge, jury, counsel, and so forth. Had a fair trial and were even defended, but It is reported that 6 have been sentenced to be hung, while a good many others are condemned to lighter punishment, such as setting in the stocks, strung up by the thumbs, thumb screws, head hanging, etc. The court has been severe, but just. July 8. Oh, how hot and oh, how miserable! The news that 6 have been sentenced to be hanged is true, and one of them is Mosby. The camp is thoroughly under control of the police now, and it is a heavenly boon.